If anyone truly knew me, it was them. My wife, Emily, soft-spoken, smiling, nurturing. And my brother, Alex, stubborn, straight up, a little rough around the edges, but always there. The three of us. Inseparable. Family. The closest. Blood and heart. I liked believing life had clicked into place. Everyone had their role. I was the steady one. The guy who kept everything running. Alex, the forever pirate with a cigarette in his mouth and laughter in his voice. Emily, the quiet harbor. The one who listened without interrupting. Every Saturday night, we had dinner together. We cracked jokes. Watched movies, the three of us, curled up on the couch. Sometimes we even said, if there's such a thing as a perfect circle, we are it. Ironic, huh? I don't remember the exact moment the crack appeared. Maybe it was always there, just tucked under the gift wrap of happiness. At first, it was the little things. Emily started lingering in the mirror longer when she knew Alex was coming over. New nail polish, even though she wore slippers to the store. Jokes that sounded different when it was just the two of us in the room. The way she laughed at his dumb comments, not the laugh she gave me. I laughed too. Because hey, small stuff. Because he's my brother. Because she's my wife. And then came that night. Alex's car had broken down, so he stayed over. We sat up late in the kitchen, drinking. I eventually went to bed, left them in the living room. An hour later, I woke up. Silence. But not the kind that comforts. The kind that whispers under your skin. I stepped out. There she was, curled up on the couch. He sat beside her. Inches apart. But there was something else in the air. Something that shouldn't have been there. They didn't see me. I went back to bed. The next morning, she was quiet. Alex? Too loud. Overcompensating. He hugged me goodbye like he owed me something. After that, I started catching little syncs between them. The way they'd glance at each other when someone told a story that was personal. How she'd smile at his joke before he even finished it. How they recalled moments I didn't even remember. Remember when we. I thought I was losing it. Then came the word she dropped casually, like nothing. Your brother knows me better than anyone. I smiled. On the outside. But something twisted inside. I started avoiding him. But her too. Because something third had formed between them. And I couldn't call it what it was without tearing myself apart. Then one day, I came home early. I heard her talking on the phone. I missed you. But he's always around. It scares me. That tone. That timbre. That wasn't a chat with a girlfriend. That was whispered fear, of wanting something. I didn't ask who she was talking to. I just placed a cup of coffee in front of her. She looked startled. You're amazing, she said. Thanks for always being so kind. She only says that when she feels guilty. From then on, I started noticing everything. Her new lingerie, even though we hadn't been intimate in months. Her phone calls out on the balcony, even in the rain. Her phone now came with her, even into the bathroom. And Alex. His cologne, same brand I used. His sudden interest in my schedule, he never used to ask. That one line, tossed out like a joke. If you ever screw up, I'm stealing her. I laughed. So did she. But her eyes dropped. And that's when I realized. I was a stranger in my own home. Still, I stayed quiet. Because I needed to be sure. Because I didn't want to be wrong, not about them. Because if I accused the two people closest to me. And it turned out I was just a jealous fool. How would I live with myself? But deep down, something inside me was already screaming. They're walking all over you. Together. And they're doing it gently, no shouting, no drama. But with pleasure. And I knew. It was only a matter of time. Just a little longer. I kept telling myself it was all in my head. That I was overthinking it. That maybe, just maybe, I was losing touch with reality. But the terrifying truth. It was reality that was eating me alive. I started seeing them together more often than not. Alex began dropping by without notice. Oh, just happened to be in the neighborhood, he'd say. Funny thing, she was always home when he showed up. Not in a robe. In makeup. Wearing those tight little, home, shorts she never wore unless she had a reason. So I watched. She laughed with him like I was part of the furniture. Her eyes tracked his every move. She'd brush her hand against his shoulder when walking by, gentle, like it was nothing. But I saw it. He didn't look away when she bent over. His smile lingered long after the joke had moved on. One Sunday, I came home earlier than planned. She didn't hear me come in. Alex was in the kitchen. She stood close to him. There was nothing between them physically, but the air was hot with something sharp. Like a blade. Then, she touched his wrist, just for a second. And something in me snapped. "Hey," I said. They both flinched. Just for a moment. Then the mask slipped back on, smiling, neutral. "You're early," she said. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I replied. "Just missed you." She smiled. But her eyes weren't happy to see me. That night I didn't sleep. Just laid there, listening to her breathe beside me while thoughts swarmed my head like hornets. "You're a fool. They're playing you. Laughing behind your back." The next day, I started planning. Cold. Clear. Like a military op. I made a fake account and started tracking both of them. On Instagram, she suddenly started following boutique hotels we'd never visited. Alex. Lingerie brands. Nothing was proof of cheating. But everything reeked of it. I changed my work hours. Started randomly, coming home early. Leaving late. Watching. Listening. One day, they thought I wasn't home. I heard their laughter in the living room. Quiet. Almost intimate. I crept to the door. "If he finds out," her whisper. "He won't," he answered. I started shaking. Not from the cold, from realization. I didn't go in. I went to the bathroom. Turned on the water. Punched the wall. The tile cracked. Then I walked out, smiling. "Everything okay?" she asked. "Just a headache." That night I could barely breathe. My chest hurt. My stomach cramped. My heart was going wild. I felt like my sanity was slipping. Psychosomatic pain was shredding me. I was throwing up. Losing weight. But I stayed silent. Because I was collecting proof. I installed a phone cloning app. It mirrored her texts, calls, location. I set up a hidden cam in the living room, taped behind a shelf. Another one in our bedroom, under the bed, aimed at the mirrored wardrobe. Alex started showing up more. Now without even calling. She stopped caring. She'd sit right next to him in her pajamas. Sometimes, when I asked her something, she'd snap, short, annoyed. Like I was bothering her. "What's wrong with you?" I asked once. She shrugged. "Just tired." But I could see it, she was slipping away. Not on her own. With him. The worst part. The split inside me. I'd watch her doing the dishes, and in my mind, I'd see her licking my brother's fingers. I'd hear him call me, bro, and inside, something whispered. "You're not his brother anymore. You're in the way." This wasn't a suspicion. It was a truth without a body. But it had a soul. And it was growing. One night, I reviewed footage from the living room cam. Nothing explosive. But his hand grazed her thigh. She didn't flinch. She placed her hand on top of his. I paused the video. And I just sat there. For a long time. No emotion. Because something inside me had already died. It was Friday. She said she was going to a spa with her friend. I nodded. "Relax," I told her. "You deserve it." My brother was in the kitchen, sipping coffee. In his underwear. "Can you drop me at the shop?" he asked. "Sure," I said. "But give me a bit." 20 minutes later, he left in an Uber. She'd already been gone 2 hours. I checked the GPS. They were both at the same hotel. Golden Moon Suites. Cheap. Cozy. No hallway cameras. The kind of place no one asks questions. I got dressed slowly. Dark jeans. Dark jacket. Phone fully charged. Power bank in my pocket. My head was empty, like a target that had already been hit. Just a smoking hole left behind. It took me 17 minutes to get there. I parked across the street, flipped open my phone, started screen recording the GPS feed. Room 203. Both their signals. Same room. I knew what I was gonna do. No yelling. No screaming. I just needed to see it. See it for myself. I took the stairs, didn't trust myself in the elevator. Didn't want to hear my own breathing. When I reached the door, I wasn't even breathing. I listened. I didn't hear music. Didn't hear the TV. I heard laughing. Her laugh. His laugh. I slid my tiny camera into the peephole, the one that streamed video to my phone. And I saw. She was on top of him. wearing just her lingerie. He was lying back, arms stretched, holding her by the hips, that smug crooked grin on his face. She was licking her fingers, flipping her hair, laughing. "How is he so boring?" she whispered. "Because he always played the good guy card," Alex said. "Me? I give you what he never could." "You're real," she moaned. I started shaking. But not from jealousy. From disgust. I filmed everything, video, audio, every word, every move. Her slipping out of her panties. Him spanking her. Her tossing her head back, whispering, "This is the best I've ever had." I felt sick. And yet, calm. That kind of cold you don't feel on your skin. Just in your mind. Like snow falling straight into your brain. I filmed it all. In full HD. Every word was a poison nail hammered into my skull. "Your brother has no clue. I don't give a damn about him. I'm here with you. He's my wallet. You're my fix." I stopped breathing. Stopped existing. I wasn't me anymore. Just a pair of eyes watching the screen. And a hand clenched around the phone. My thoughts drifted to all our dinners together. All the laughs. All the hugs on holidays. "You mean everything to me," she used to say. That time Alex said, "If anyone should be the father of your kids, it's you." And now. He was inside her. My wife. My brother. Together. In the same bed. No guilt. No fear. Just grins. When they finished, she collapsed onto his chest. "I wish this could last forever." "It will," he whispered. "As long as that idiot doesn't mess it up." That idiot. Was me. I pulled the camera away. Backed off the door. Went downstairs to the hotel bathroom. Locked the door. Stared into the mirror. And didn't recognize what I saw. Eyes, dead. Skin, pale. Shoulders, slumped like a corpse. But my mouth was smiling. Quietly. Thinly. Dangerously. Because I knew exactly what was coming next. I took a deep breath. One last inhale. As the man I used to be. And then. The revenge began. What I saw in that hotel room didn't need screaming. Didn't need fists. It was the ending, already written. All that was left. Was to roll the credits. Big screen. Full volume. For everyone. I didn't say a word to them that day. They had no idea I'd already seen the truth. That I was no longer a husband. No longer a brother. I was a judge, and the sentence was already in my pocket. The next morning, I got up before either of them. Made breakfast. Just like always. Smiled. Cracked a few jokes. And she, the same woman who had moaned under my brother just the night before. Kissed me on the cheek. "I'm so grateful for you, baby. You're the best." She didn't flinch. Didn't hesitate. She had no clue. 5 days later, we had a small family gathering. My birthday. I invited everyone. Parents. Uncles. Friends. Neighbors. Co-workers. Even my old college professor. And of course, Emily. And of course, Alex. Because public executions. They hit harder. We rented out a restaurant. I paid in advance. Big banner with a photo of our happy family. Wine. Toasts. Laughter. Emily looked stunning. Alex wore the shirt I gave him last Christmas. Everything was perfect. Until the toast. I spent a long time thinking about what to say, I began. Most of you know me as the guy who stays calm, keeps it together. The one who protects his family. People leaned in. But today. I'm not celebrating. Silence. Today, I'm burying something. For good. Illusions. Lies. Relationships. People. I walked over to the projector. Opened my laptop. Pressed play. The hotel footage appeared on the big screen. Her. Him. In bed. The sounds. The moans. The touching. The pleasure contorted across their faces. Dead silence in the room. Someone tried to take a sip of wine, and couldn't swallow. I looked at them. They were seated on opposite sides of the table. Emily, pale, eyes wide in terror. Alex, sweating, hands trembling. I didn't say a word. When the video ended, I spoke. This is my wife. And my brother. They've been screwing behind my back. 4 months. Maybe longer. I looked at my father. He slept with your daughter-in-law. In our house. On the couch you're sitting on right now. Then to my mother. She called you Mom, and on the same day, well, you saw it. To my friends. If any of you shake their hands after this, don't bother calling me again. I stood up. Bills already paid. Enjoy your evening. And I walked out. No yelling. No tears. Didn't even look back at her or him. The next day, they were both gone from the house. I changed the locks. Wiped her from every account. Transferred all the property under my name. My lawyer already had the paperwork waiting. She tried to call. Tried to show up. Tried to text. I ignored it all. So did he. I sent them one final message, to both. You two deserve each other. And now you have nothing. No home. No dignity. No family. Good luck out there. And you're welcome. I left you with each other. They were cut out from every circle. The family turned their backs. Friends stayed silent. Co-workers found out. The story blew up online. Their reputations burned to ash in a single hour. And me? I didn't feel like I'd won. I just sat. In silence. In my home. No music. No voices. Just silence. Clean. Pure. Deep. And in that silence, I finally took a real breath for the first time in months. 8 months have passed. I don't count days anymore. There's no point. When everything inside is burned down to ash, calendars don't mean a thing. I live alone now. A small apartment on the other side of town. The windows face a courtyard where a maple tree grows. I've come to love that tree. It doesn't talk. Just exists. Like me. I haven't looked for anyone new. Didn't try to fill the void. I just let it be. My fridge holds only what I need. My closet, a few clothes. My mind, quiet. There used to be so many words in my life. Her voice. His jokes. Phone calls. Laughter. Now. Just the hum of the coffee maker in the morning. The sound of pages turning. My breathing, too loud in an empty room. I don't feel sad. Sadness is for people who still cling to something. I don't. I don't think about them anymore. Don't analyze. Don't check social media. Don't ask mutual friends. They're just gone. Once, I was walking past the train station. It was cold. Wet. People rushed by, lost in their own worlds. And then, I saw them. Standing off to the side. She wore an old jacket. No makeup. Her eyes locked on the ground. He had that blank stare, one I didn't recognize anymore. There was nothing between them. Not even closeness. That's what love after looks like. They saw me. I saw them. But I didn't stop. Didn't nod. Didn't flinch. Just walked past. Like passing a shadow on the sidewalk. Because they're not part of my world anymore. They're a scar, not a wound. People have asked me if I have regrets. I don't. I regret believing them. But not what I did. Everyone still in my life made it through the fire. There aren't many left. But they're real. I'm not into small talk or surface friendships anymore. I'm not looking for someone. I don't waste time playing roles. The only thing that matters now is being myself. No lies. No performances. No hands with knives behind the back. When I wake up, I don't feel euphoria. But I don't feel pain either. I feel balance. Sometimes I hear the neighbors laughing. A man and a woman. Probably young. I don't envy them. I don't judge them. I just know, it's temporary. Once, I loved. Once, I trusted. Now. I'm free. This isn't about happiness. It's about solidity. Wholeness. About knowing that when someone betrays you, you don't ask, why? You just say. Go. Forever. And when you're out there, hungry, dirty, forgotten. I don't laugh. I don't seek revenge. I just walk past. And I don't look back. Because the real victory isn't erasing your enemy. It's erasing them from your reality.